That radio chick Cheryl Lee here. Welcome to the Still Rocking It podcast, where we'll have music, news reviews and interviews with some of our favourite Australian musicians and artists.
Firstly, let me say I'm really jealous. This is the third artist we've spoken to who's heading off to the Mundi Mundi Bash, the 20th to the 22nd of August, Belmont Station on the Mundi Mundi Plains. We're speaking to one of the most lovely young Australian talents I must say I've ever spoken to. She's friendly, she's down to earth, she's honest, she's just like your new best friend. We were lucky enough to catch up in the Zoom room with the gorgeous Jessica Mauboy as she joins some other big names in Oz rock like the Teskey Brothers, John Stevens, John Butler, the Baby Animals. Oh, come on, they're just showing off now. If you haven't booked in for this year, and it's not too late actually, let's all agree to meet there next year.
To catch up on podcasts from other favourite artists, simply go to thatradiochick.com.au.
I'd like to welcome into the Zoom room with me today for the first time. Lovely to meet you, and thank you for coming, Jessica Mauboy.
Thank you so much for having me. This is very exciting for me to chat with you and just to share. I'm all about that. So thank you for having me and creating that space.
Oh, an absolute pleasure. And you've got so much exciting stuff going on. First, of course, you are off to your virgin trip to Mundi Mundi, which we'll talk about.
I know. Exciting times for sure.
So you've never done it before.
No, this is the first time being invited and being a part of like the amazing, magnificent lineup. There's so many talented people that entertaining at the Mundi Mundi Bash. And also just like, I've been having dreams about how I'm going to put this show together and this performance and work with the band that's like playing for everyone. And yeah, just like the thought of people coming from everywhere and, you know, being on the road and living on the road and just kind of bringing their energy and their knowledge to this magnificent landscape, you know.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen images, you know, that I've looked up, I've researched. And yeah, that's kind of like all I know. And like, I've seen the activities that are literally going to be playing out. I mean, like I'm just really interested to watch the Mundi Mundi run, because I just often wonder like what levels of like, you know, like undergarments or like just underwear that, you know, people are going to be wearing, because you're people are going to have been on the road for like such a long time to like not think about what kind of undies they're going to be wearing on the road. I mean, but yeah, anyway, like I think just, you know, the fact that it's family friendly, you know, kid friendly, pet friendly. So this is, yeah, it's very, very cool. And I'm counting down the days now.
Have you done any of the other Aussie Outback shows?
I've only ever done the Denny Ute Muster.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. I mean, that's mind blowing. And I mean, that's like a whole different kind of, you know, just the attire, and then everyone coming out, you know, with their swags and, you know, they're barbecuing, like literally you come out smelling like a barbecue. But just again, like the landscape, the thought of like being in the middle of like
The desert.
And then there's also this kind of energy that like comes from that, and then people who are bringing their energy. It's just going to be electrifying. I know this, just from just looking and researching, and then hearing people's stories of their experience of attending. So
well,
yeah,
I've been once to Mundi.
You have? Oh my God! Like, and what was?
Nearly 20 friends, and our Mundi Mundi costumes, we all dressed up as ducks, and we had all our ducks in a row.
See, that's what I imagined. I imagined like there's a theme between like, you know, people who've come together as a group or as family, as friends. And Yeah, see, that's cool to me.
Yeah,
Like,
you are going to absolutely love it. Let's remember why we love Jessica Mauboy and her music so much, shall we? So I think it was 2006 when you first burst onto our screens, fourth season of Australian Idol. Now you
yeah, wow.
some amazing insight actually, because you've been on both sides now of reality TV shows. Firstly, quickly, how was it as a contestant? And now, how is it as, I mean, you replaced Boy George.
I did.
Yeah, on The Voice.
It was a whole like panel swap. I think my year was Keith Urban. I had, yeah, Keith Urban, Rita Ora, and Guy Sebastian. So it was four of us, which was amazing. And we got to do that over 2 years. And then the third year, we had a newcomer, an incredible artist called Jason Derulo.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was pretty awesome, I think, to kind of be on the other side. But I think going back to being an artist auditioning for Idol particularly was very daunting. I think I just turned 16 to make the show and make the audition. So I was 15 when I did my first audition for Idol, but I was too young. They told me to come back the following year, which was 2005. So I was getting geared up in '05, watching the grand final of '05, and my family were like, if either of these two win, you're definitely going, basically saying like your vocals are right up there with them. And this was my dad. And my dad said, you're definitely going, whichever one wins, you're going to audition the following year. And I remember when they announced the winner, I ran upstage. I ran off into my room, and I just immediately like plunged into my bed, face down in the pillow, and just going like, my parents are taking me to the audition next year because they believe in me, and this is their plan, and I don't know if I'm confident in this plan, but I trusted in them. And
Always listen to your parents.
exactly, I was getting to that point, like just that trust.
Yeah.
My parents allowed me to be trusted and to trust them. So it was like it worked both ways, and I'm really grateful for that. Like, because if I just didn't trust them and give them a chance, I probably, my life would have been very different. Yeah.
Speaking of your mum and dad, you have got three older sisters and a younger sister. I also have five children. Your mum is a legend.
You're a legend. Oh my gosh. You know what? I often kind of sit there with my sisters and say, like, if there was an award, probably an award, but a recognition, for a space for women and all human beings to really recognize, the I guess the steps, or just the life of a woman, and everything that comes with being a woman. Like we need to hold space a lot more in a way where it's like the highest recognition, like a stage, like when they have award shows for certain things, like this is the Life Achievement Award, for all women. Anyway, that's like my dream. I wish, and hopefully there's someone with a lot of money that makes that happen.
Well done to your mum. Five girls. I take my hat off to her because I've got three girls and then two boys, and I'm sort of glad I've got a couple of boys in there. I've got to tell you, I love them to bits, but and it's also a little bit reminiscent of your role in Sapphires a little bit. You had like sisters.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember you in that movie. Loved
Thank
you. That movie. I learnt something that I had maybe forgotten, but you represented us at the Eurovision Song Contest as well.
I did. And I remember representing the very, very first time Australia had been invited back in 2014. I just released my my fourth album, and I was invited to go over And I guess it was really showcasing that Australia was worthy of being in the running or being, to competing.
Invited, yeah.
Yeah, so I wrote a song specifically as if, as if I was, competing. I went in there like as if I was, competing. And that was the whole point, was to showcase that, Australia definitely had the ability and had the the rock and roll, the fire, the
The
passion, the
chops.
desire, absolutely the chops. And I think, yeah, I'm proud to say, like, I won their hearts. Like, I'm proud to say that I was there first, and to finally have Australia be in the running and very worthy to be a part of Eurovision. So yeah, I really I pat myself on the back, because it wasn't only just representing myself, but I think people go into there representing their country, their culture, their wisdom, their knowledge, and just who they are and their community. And so that's exactly what I went in thinking. I went in thinking, as an identity, as someone's, daughter, sister, and also friend, and a role model, a leader, and just representing
Yeah.
all of those things as a human.
You did us so proud.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
I wanted to ask you, you split from your record company, and what a brave woman you are, brave independent woman, independent label Jamali. How's that
Yes.
going?
Look, it's been like personally challenging, because I wasn't quite sure if, like that it had been a goal, for a very long time. And, I think, after being with my very first label, who had been with from the very beginning of my career, that's all I ever known. And so I think the 20 years, I think I was at a point where I'd fulfilled my contract, my 5 album deal, which my last album was Hilda. And so it was just really like time, and a new kind of space and change was happening. And I definitely could feel that. And so 2019 was a really huge year for me, having, created a number one hit record with that label. And then also, like, I put so much storytelling into that, which I guess took a lot of, emotionally. And yeah, but it was also probably not the first time, but more so that I had been the most vulnerable, I think, in my work. And that's when I released Little Things about my mom, her story. And I remember us having to sit down over a cup of tea to ask if I could write a song about her. And, the cup of tea was very much the permission, and in quietness. There was a quite proudness that, was kind of shared over a cup of tea. And yeah, she was just like, wow, you want to write a song about me? And I think when she first heard it, she just bawled her eyes, and
Yeah.
I bawled my eyes with her. And yeah, it was really the kind of the first time where I'd co-written a whole body of work, and then also just worked really extremely hard, because I was very limited in in a lot of resources, but also knew that I had the ability to create all those things and bring it together to make an awesome album. Yeah, so I think now, looking, like, having reflected back for so many years now, to back to 2019, now, launching my record, I guess Space has been, because it doesn't run like a record label. It's purely like a space of, of free making music,
Yeah.
and it's really entertaining that at this point.
A leap of faith. Well done for taking that. And just back to also on your mum, because you also now are a mum of a 1-year-old. The
Yeah,
best job in the whole world.
really is. It really is. And, you could read all the books in the world and be as prepared as, you want, but I have learned that it's constantly changing. And I think that's a really beautiful thing not to become one with, but to just accept and surrender to. And that's been like the biggest, I guess, learning, thing for me, is that I'm listening to it, I'm trusting her, but I'm also kind of guiding her in what could be good for her to explore, and then seeing all the first. Like, she's only 17 months, so she's just learning how to put like a sentence together. It still doesn't make any sense, but we're using eye contact, which is so wow. Like, when you are really looking into another's eyes and that's the conversation, I can understand everything.
Yeah. Well,
and yeah,
you are absolutely going. Congratulations. Like I said, the most important job of all. Now, I know we're nearly out of time, so I just wanted to quickly thank you so much for spending some time with us and say good luck. And
thank you.
With the story of me, your musical journey, you've still got Brizzy and Hobart.
I do.
Canberra, Geelong, and Melbourne.
And Melbourne.
And also, good luck on your Virgin Tour trip to Mundi.
Oh,
Have a great time.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to be thinking of you, and now I'm having to think of like what theme I'm going to go as well. Like, am I going as a duck? My daughter loves a duck, so I might do it for her. I'll represent her. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and holding space and allowing me to share my story with you and to everyone.
Thank you so much. And, all the best also with the Songs of Farnham. To be invited to do that, what an accolade. You just enjoy that night as well.
Thank you so much. As everybody else as well, like, just so iconic and very humbled and honoured to be a part of that wonderful lineup.
Awesome. All righty. I will see you down the front next time that you hit our beautiful town of Adelaide.
I will let you know. We'll have to catch up, Cheryl. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
You're with Cheryl Lee, that radio chick. Thank you so much for joining me on the Still Rocking It podcast. Hope to catch you again next time. Get out when you can, support Aussie music, and I'll see you down the front.